More cooperation is needed in the final stage of the preparations. Chinese G20 Sherpa and Vice Foreign Minister Li Baodong attended Thursday's consultations.
The presidency expects colleagues to join hands together in hitting the finish line triumphantly by producing a strong and fruitful communique.
The theme of this year's summit is toward an innovative, invigorated, interconnected, and inclusive world economy. The summit comes at a time when the world economy continues to struggle with a fragile recovery. And for the first time, China is putting innovation at the top of agenda for the G20 summit. China is striving to drive growth with innovation-driven strategies and structural reform. This will break the cycle of relying solely on fiscal stimulus and easy monetary policy. Representatives echoed this during the meetings.
And I think one of the important outcomes of China's presidency is breaking a new path for growth as one of the key outcomes, where China is speaking of a new blueprint for innovation. And by innovation, we are also speaking of how do we tap into the new industrial revolution. I think this is very important. So China has placed a set of key issues on the table, and I think the leaders' communique will capture all of this and hopefully give us a renewed sense of cooperation.
We, as G20, will adopt the growth strategy for trade, and also the guiding principles on investment policies, which is the first step to harmonize our investment regimes. Also, the action plan on the agenda for sustainable development, Agenda 2030. It is a very important outcome, and G20 countries unanimously agreed to lead the work on achieving sustainable development goals and support the UN-led work in this area.
Meetings will continue today. Representatives plan to come up with a communique and submit it for leaders' approval. The 2016 G20 summit will be held in Hangzhou from September the 4th to 5th. It is the 11th G20 meeting and the first ever G20 summit to be held in China. Wang Tongxuan, CCTV.